Welcome back to week 3 of the Motus pull-up program, where we coach the most fundamental training principles, but also the most essential training principles, all within the context of getting your first unassisted pull-up. So week 3, our weekly focus is going to be, in my opinion, the most important training principle to get better at anything in terms of your fitness: progressive overload. So the dictionary definition of progressive overload is the training principle involving gradual and continual increase in stress on the body to stimulate adaptation and improve performance. So this gradual increase in stress, that is increasing the stimulus. So you can do this by a number of ways. Number 1, you can add weight or increase the intensity. So increasing the intensity is, if you're doing a banded pull-up, is using a lighter band. If you're doing a lat pull down, you might be increasing that weight. You can either do it by less rest or recovery, so having less rest in between each of your sets. You can also do it by increasing the frequency at which you train that particular skill or that movement, doing more sets and reps in a particular session, or doing more sessions throughout the week. Or you increase the duration, so that is the time spent doing that particular movement. So longer sessions, more volume in your training. How can we apply this in the context of getting our first pull-up? So this is the whole point of training till failure. So this week will be the first week where we see +1 set till failure. Hopefully throughout the program, the last 2 or 3 weeks, you found a band. If you're doing banded pull-ups, found a band that works for you. Or if you're doing a lat pull down, you found a weight that works well for you. You feel kind of comfortable with, you're familiar with that weight or that band. But there's 1 set till failure. So for example, if we have our banded pull-up, say a lat pull down, we could replace our banded pull-up with any sort of movement: bicep curl, pull-up, banded pull-up, lat pull down, anything. We have 2 sets of 8 plus our 1 set till failure. So trying to implement the training principle of progressive overload, we have some examples of how each set should feel. So for set number 1, you do your 8 reps of your banded pull-up, and you feel kind of comfortable. You feel like after that 8, you could do 2 to 3 reps in reserve. So you think, you do your 8, I could do 2 or 3 more, I feel pretty good. Then you have your rest, however long you need, 2 to 3 minutes, that's fine. We will go into ideal amount of rest later in the program. Then we'll go into our set number 2. We'll do our 8 reps, and we're like, that was a little bit harder. Maybe only had 1 or maybe 2 reps in reserve. Then we get to our final set. If the weights and the bands you've chosen correctly, that final set, you'll have 0 reps in reserve. That final set of 8, you're on your 7th and you go for your 8th and you are struggling to get it. That's where we want to be. Those final sets is where that progressive overload happens. Where that increases those final reps that really push that progressive overload. So this, I truly believe that this implemented correctly is how you will succeed in this program. If you are continually choosing heavier bands throughout the week, choosing heavier weights in your bicep curls and your lat pull downs, in your scapular rotations, in your bent over rows, if you are choosing heavier weights, you will see your progression soar. This is where success is made. So it does take a little bit to get used to, or to become familiar with which weights, which bands to use. But as you do it more and more and more, you will know exactly where your body struggles, at what rep range, at what bands, at what weights, and you become very familiar with where to push. So it does take a little bit of time. Just finally, making sure we are trying to get as close to that final set. So when it says 0 reps in reserve, you're trying to get as close to that 8 reps, or whatever it is, 10 reps, 12 reps, whatever reps those reps is required on that particular day. You're trying to get as close to that number as you can in your final set. If you end up doing say it's 8 reps and you end up doing 14, you did 14 reps and that's where you hit failure, it means your band or your weight is too light in these first 2 sets, okay? So you want to try to bump up that weight for that next session or the next week, slowly progressing, increasing that intensity. Hopefully I will see you guys next week, but otherwise good luck and hit training hard.